here. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Cheryl Horvath, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Woodinville, Washington. And you have found me on my weekly tips and tricks YouTube series. So welcome. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And that will just help me grow my reach and grow my audience. I'm at like 908 subscribers, which is crazy because I have like over 4,000 subscribers on Pinterest. It's like I can't seem to get that traction going on YouTube, but I try. So my goal is 1,000 by the end of the year. So a like and a share and a subscribe if you choose to do so would be super helpful. So thank you for that. So on to a little bit of housekeeping. Most of you who follow this particular series know I do a little giveaway every week. And last week, the giveaway was a stamp set and a set of brushed brass butterflies. I always have to slow down when I say that because it's kind of a tongue twister. So I have to tell you the story. I'm not going to do the live drawing like I did last time because I already did it. And the reason I already did it was I had this video and I filmed it on Tuesday, as a matter of fact. And it was a pretty in-depth video. It was talking all about how I do my custom invitations. So when somebody hires me to do a baby shower invite, or in this particular case, it was my daughter-in-law who asked if I would make her a custom Halloween invitation or Halloween party invitation. So I said, sure. And so I did it and it turned out really cool and I loved it. I thought I'm going to show my process to all of you on how it works. So as it turned out, I was really careful in the beginning. Let me see if I can find one. Because the card had her personal information on it, her address and the date of the party and whatnot, right? So I thought I was being very careful. Let me turn my camera down so that I can show you this because it's kind of a stupid story, but something we all have to be careful about. So bring my camera over. So I made this adorable invitation and wanted to share it with you, and I didn't want to share all the details of her address. And so this is the front of it, and don't mind this white stuff, that was an accident. That was Wink of Stella that didn't react well, and so this was just kind of a demo one. But so on the back side I took some post-it tape and I covered it up so that you couldn't see the address. I mean, I don't really care about the date of the party, but I was just really concerned about not sharing her address with everybody. I mean, who knows, some crazy person could show up at her house, right? On her Halloween party. That would be awful. So here I am trying to be as thorough, and I even went into my online file of this and I changed the ad because I was printing it out and I was going to, walk you through all the steps I do. And so my online file I changed the address from her address to be 123 Anywhere Street. Okay. And so, but I had done a bunch of prep for this video before I started filming. And so when I got to the point of showing how I cut out how I print this backside and cut this card out, I had inadvertently grabbed the wrong address that had the address on it. So like I'm probably 25 minutes into this video and I realized that her address is showing and I'm like, oh man, how am I going to fix this? I've really spent a lot of time filming and editing and, anyway, long story short, I threw it up there and thought, well, because I made such a stink about it in the beginning and not sharing anybody's address, and then I screwed up and halfway through the video, I used the wrong card sample, which had the address on it. And I thought, well, maybe nobody will pay attention to it and I'll be fine. So I threw it up there, announced my winner, blah, 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 did my whole Tuesday spiel. And my husband came home and I said, honey, this is what happened. This is what I did. And I just told him the whole story. And he said, pull it down now. So 4 people had watched the video and I'm sure it's fine, but I had to pull it down because I tried to figure out how I could maybe edit blur it on screen, but it was, it was just so dialed in and focused and zoomed in. It was just, I don't have the editing skills to do that. So I had to pull the video down, which is a real bummer because I think you guys would have really enjoyed seeing my process for how I do my invitations. So maybe for a future one, but that's why I didn't show the live drawing today, because I did it already on Tuesday, and the lucky winner is Angelique M. So if you are watching, your choice of prize is one of these 3 stamp sets, and anyone you like, and then also a full set of the brushed brass butterflies. So drop me an email, Cheryl@cardsbycheryl.com, Angelique, if you would, and let me know your shipping address, which one of these stamp sets you'd like, and I will be happy to send it to you. I did a really pretty card with this one. These are brand new, by the way. These aren't used. These are extras that I had. So if you need some inspiration before you choose, I'm not trying to make you choose this one. If it were me, I would choose this one. But there's some really pretty cards out there. This is a little bit of an intimidating set at first because it's not terribly appealing, but it's a distinctive stamp set, and these images really come through very nicely when you stamp them. They just come through with a lot of dimension, and it almost looks like they're popping off the page a little bit. So head over to Pinterest and Google Perfect Pomegranate Stampin' Up, and you'll see some inspiration for that set. Or, let me know which one you want, and I will ship it to you. Okay, so that's my story. I'm really sorry it's Friday, and you guys have probably been wondering, where the heck are you? I just had a day yesterday. I think I ate something bad and did not agree with me. So, I'm better today, hopefully. Thank God it's Friday. I don't want to be sick tomorrow. And I have a big craft event tomorrow. So I'm doing a craft party with my girlfriend. She's hosting it, and we're doing a little card buffet. So I've been busy getting ready for that. But I am now here, and hopefully we'll get this video up to you today. So I should probably tell you what we're going to talk about. I want to talk about how to add dimension to your cards that is sturdy and doesn't require the use of 10,000 of these. I love Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. I love them. And they're my foam adhesive of choice. I used to buy the big Mondo roll of sticky tape. And of course, now that I'm a demonstrator, whenever I need to do foam, sticky foam dimensionals, I use this, with one exception. Way before I joined Stampin' Up, started using, and Jennifer McGuire, if you guys know her, she's the one that turned me onto this. I started using craft foam to provide dimension to my cards. And the reason I did that was because I liked to pop up the main, like the first layer on the card. So for example, here's one that is using foam dimensionals, and can you see those dimensions in there? I put probably like 3, 6, I probably had 12 of them on there, but it just doesn't look super dimensional. And it goes through the mail just fine, and it's not very thick. I weighed this, it's a 1/2 ounce. So with the envelope, it's probably 0.7 ounces or whatever. So definitely within guidelines to go through the postal service without an extra stamp. But it's just kind of, it looks pretty flat, I think. So let me show you one that I did with craft foam. And I don't know if you can tell, but do you see how popped up that is? And it's very sturdy. Like when it runs through the machines, it's not going to get all warped and wonky because it's a solid layer of foam underneath these pieces. I did use a dimensional on the end of this thank you sentiment, and you can see that it is identical in height. So it's not like off balance or anything. So I love to use, and I don't do it all the time, and I only kind of do it for cards that are super special. you know, some of my guy friends that I send birthday cards to, and I know they're going to open it and then pitch it. I probably wouldn't spend the time to do the foam dimensional under the on the card, but for special cards, Mother's Day to my mom, or you know, a really special thank you card or something like that, I will take the time and add a full piece of solid foam. So let me show you how I do that, and I'm going to use a couple different sets to show you. Let's see, where do I want to start here? So I'm going to use this set right here, and we're just going to build a card real fast. And it's not going to be anything special because I'm just basically doing it to show you technique. So I'm going to grab these two pieces, and let's put a bow in there too. So this is just going to be a simple wreath card. And we're going to grab some scrap white paper from your scrap paper bin. That's not going to be big enough, is it? Throw this down like so. And we're going to go with shaded spruce. Let's have this be a holiday card. And because it's photopolymer, I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat. I need a bigger piece. Got one right here. Okay. So we are going to stamp these. And I'm going to do shaded spruce first. Oh, that piece was actually big enough. I was thinking we're stamping two separate wreaths, but we're not. So let's go back to this little one. So we're going to do shaded spruce like so. Then I'm going to bring in soft suede to put the branches in. And hopefully that's not too dark. No, that's perfect. I need to turn my desk down a little bit. Hold on. There you go. I adore my sit-stand desk. Holy cow, you guys. If you have an opportunity to invest in one, they actually have really come down in price by a lot. And I think I paid under $300 for, no, that was for that one in Arizona, which was smaller. But this is almost 60 inches wide, and you can sit or stand at it, and I just love it. So I'm going to do like so. I need to re-ink this guy before craft day tomorrow. That's going to be a bummer. And then, oops, no, I want to do some berries on it. Because if we're going to do this, I might as well do something with it. Make a Christmas card and chop another one off the list of cards to make, right? So now I'm just taking the little berry, and we're going to... I love this set. This has truly become one of my most favorite sets so far. It's so versatile, and it goes all year long for me. Okay, so here's the fun part. So now we're going to grab, let me set this stuff aside so I don't get in the way, because I think I'm going to show you my die cutter when I do this. So we're going to grab the coordinating dies. And there was a trick. Let's see if I can remember. So I was looking at, because to line this up took me a while. I think it's right there. Yep. So there's, do you see this big wide curve right here? Maybe you can't. So this wide curve right there lines up with this wide curve of leaves that stick out. So I don't know if you can see, there's just like a, and it matches with this wide curve right there. So that's how I know to line it up. See if I'm right here. Yeah. Otherwise, you're constantly spinning. It takes forever. So take a minute, if you have this stamp set, take a minute to figure out where the sweet spot is for you, and where you can recognize where things are. And our Post-it tape is your friend on this one. So we're going to tape this down. And then we're going to grab the wreath. and tape this down. Okay, like so. Next, we're going to, let's see, this is about 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So next we're going to grab a piece of foam. And you can cut it more precise with your trimmer, but since we're just doing cutouts, I just do this. I just rough cut it out like that. I got this foam from Amazon, a 30 pack for $15. So 50 cents a sheet for 8 1/2 by 11 size paper. Okay, so here we've got our dies taped down. We have our foam piece set right behind it. So we're going to grab my die cutter and we're going to zoom back out like so that you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm placing the foam down and then the dies right on top of it. So I'm making sure that I've got coverage from top to bottom. And sometimes it would help if you cut the piece just a little bit larger, but I know this one's going to fit. So lay that down right on underneath your paper with your dies, and then grab your top plate. And this is going to jiggle the camera because my camera is attached to my desk and it's going to wobble. So I apologize for that. So we're just going to run this through like so. And we'll do the big reveal here. So I don't know if you noticed that I did run it through and then back again, so twice. Okay. So we're going to pop these out. And you have a perfectly shaped, this Post-it note is brand new, so it's very sticky. I use it several times, and usually after like the 3rd time or so, it's the best. Not too tacky. So here we have our perfectly cut foam pop-up dimensional for this piece. And you did it all in one fell swoop, so you're not die cutting all day long. Because I love die cuts, but I'm not a huge fan of die cutting, I should say. It just is tedious to me. So we're going to glue these together. And I would not suggest adhesive tape for this because the glue is going to soak into the foam and really be strong, but adhesive tape is just going to sit on top and it could come off. So I wouldn't suggest tape, but we're going to just line this up like that. And the glue also lets you manipulate it a little bit, like there. Just makes it a very sturdy piece. I love it. So now we've got dimension on top of dimension where the wreath is concerned, right? Which is kind of fun too. So there's that. Let's see. We should put it on I use cherry cobbler. Let's do a cherry cobbler card base. And I'm just cutting and scoring my little platform right behind me. So here, and then I think we're going to do a white border. I'm going to grab some basic white scrap. And I'm going to cut a small piece. Three 3/4 by 5. I think I want it smaller than that. Okay, this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 because I just wanted that big red border. We're going to just, this is just going to be simple, you guys. We could emboss this background. That might be kind of fun. Let's do that with the brick embossing folder. Do you guys have that one? I just don't like flat white backgrounds. So we're gonna, this is called the brick and mortar embossing folder. And so we're going to, the brick's gonna run this way. So you wanna make sure you insert your paper that way. So the brick's running in the right direction. And it is a 3D folder. So you wanna make sure you use the right plate sandwich. And for 3D, you basically use plate number 1 and plate number 4, and number 4 is this gray one. So it's super easy. Okay, so we could, with foam, pop this up just like we did on the orchid card, wherever that one went. So I popped this layer up also. But I think, oh, that's going to be pretty. Isn't that pretty? So I think what we'll do, we'll just leave this flat. So we'll glue this down flat. And since you're die cutting the wreath and the bow, to throw the piece of foam behind it really isn't that much more work. I don't think. And so this, like I think I said, this these foam sheets are 50 cents a piece, basically. If you go to the craft store, you're going to pay closer to $1 or so a piece. So what should we use for our sentiment? Why don't we just keep it simple and do... Well, that's still a little bit too small, though. I want something a little bolder. And we could use... This is Trees for Sale. We could use this Christmas Greetings, which is a little bit longer. Or we could even do So Very Merry. Let's just do Christmas Greetings. Yeah. So, especially on sets like this, like these lights, you could totally run this die through, this delicate die through with the light stamp to create the lights popping up from your card. That would be super fun too. There's so much you can do with it. Like when you think about having to put little mini dimensionals on this little tiny piece. Psh. Now you can get the, this is full sheet foam adhesive. But it's not great for large backgrounds because you're going to use almost a whole piece of it. And I think you only get 3 in a pack. But, and the foam sheets are much more economical. So, let us do this grading. And I think I want to do it in black. And I think I have a piece here that will flag the ends. Yeah. So let's grab one of my all-time favorite punches. This is Banner Pick-a-Punch. This is just a scrap piece of white that I had sitting on my desk. And we're going to flag each end. I like to flip it over. Pop that out. Now let's do this end. Like so. Then grab our black ink. I'm going to use a pigment ink because I want it to be super vibrant. This is VersaFine Clair Noir Nocturne, sorry. And it's pigment. It's not a dye-based ink. Memento is dye-based. It's like water-soluble. Memento Black. And it soaks into the paper because it's a dye ink, whereas pigment inks kind of sit on top and they're opaque. I was thinking about doing a tips and trick on the different types of inks and when you use them. Like so. Beautiful. Now, do we want to, we do. We want to use some foam. I should have cut that first before I did it, but we're going to use some foam. Where's my spare piece of foam? To pop up that dimensional so that it's nice and even with the rest of the card. So I'm just going to grab a scrap. And it's not going to cover the flagged ends, which is fine. So I'm just going to cut a strip that's going to lay down right like that. Set that down right on top. Okay. Now I think we're ready to assemble. Yay, I'm getting another holiday card done. I'm so excited. I have so many to do. Oh my Lord. Hold that down for a minute. You could put a block on it if you wanted. And then we're going to put the sentiment on. Because it's foam, it's like almost like a fabric. You just want to hold it a little bit longer than normal paper. And see, I smeared that already. Pigment ink is also takes time to dry. So you can smear it easily. And most people say you should heat set it when you use pigment inks, but I don't. I usually just try to keep my hands out of it long enough to make sure it's pretty dry without smearing. And there you have a really pretty dimensional. Now if you wanted to pop a little tiny dimension under the end of this bow, but that doesn't bother me at all. So I would call this card, I would do the inside with just a, let me cut one here. I didn't really intend to like walk you through making a full card today, but this was kind of fun. So I would probably want to decorate somehow, and that's going to require stamping again. So let's do this. We're going to go and bring back our, where'd it go? Stampin' Pierce mat. Because we're going to run off a little bit. We're going to bring back our shaded spruce. And I'm just going to do this like that up in the corner. To do a little matchy going on here. Very pretty. And then so that, because we already said season's greetings on the front, let's put something different on the inside. With a little more substance. I have something, I thought I had something close by that would work. This one right here. This is the Very Best Occasions set, and I love this sentiment. With a little more sparkle and a little less stress, let's make this Christmas the very best. Or you could do May your days be happy, your heart be light, Christmas merry, and New Year's bright. Let's do that one. Haven't used that one yet. Yeah. And I'm going to go with black again. let's see. Sometimes I like to get fancy with where I place the sentiment, but I'm going to do that. The other way you could do this sentiment, which would be pretty, here I am digressing, is you could grab your full stamp or your, grab your shaded spruce again, and we would stamp off probably twice. So stamp off twice first, 1, 2, to get it real light, and then put that in the center. Yeah, that's still really dark. This may not work. And then come in full strength with your sentiment right over the top of the wreath. Yeah, and that's a little hard to see, but that's another way you could decorate the inside. I'm going to go with this side. I like that one better. And you could even put some berries on it. Let's do that. Just to add a pop of color on the inside. Get that out of the way. Let's put this down. Oh, Cheryl. I just smeared red on it. This is Tombow Mono Sand Eraser. Because it kind of takes away the fibers of the paper. Remember I said dye ink absorbs into the paper and pigment ink sits on top? That's why you need to, when you erase something, you can erase it, because this is actually taking away some of the fibers of the paper. But look, we just made it pretty again. You could use some gems, sparkly gems, to just add a little bit more oomph to this, or you could put some Wink of Stella on here. But anyway, I got a card out of the way. I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So, oh, I'm not on the right screen, am I? Or did I pop out of view? There I am. I don't know how that happened, but so here is a foam-based card that's very sturdy. Most of my other samples back here, like this one here, this was done with just dimensionals, and I don't know, I just feel like sometimes a full piece of foam behind an element on your card makes it just that much more pop. So that's my tip today, is you can die cut even like sentiments, like I did this sentiment. So you could stamp your sentiment on your paper and then grab your die and put a piece of craft behind it and die cut it all at once, and you've got a perfectly shaped piece. So lots of different applications for this foam, craft foam. Okay. I don't think I have anything else to show you, so I'm going to call it good. Okay, I do have some ideas for some other videos. You know what I didn't do was I didn't do a prize selection for next week's drawing, or next week. I'm running a little low. I mean, I could still do another stamp set, because after Angelique chooses hers, there's 2 others. So I could do that, but I don't want to bore you guys with the same thing every week. So I'm going to pause on the prizes until I can like restock my stash a little bit more. And then we'll go back to weekly drawings. But okay, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll link the products that I can in case you're interested in grabbing them. Like I said, on Amazon they're $15 for a 30-pack. Oh, and it comes in This is handy too when you have a dark, it comes in black. Well, it comes in all different colors. You guys know that. Craft foam comes in a rainbow. So you can get rainbow packs of craft foam, or you can get a 30 pack of white and a 30 pack of black. And that's all I have. I don't like to see, I like it to be discreet. So I don't like to see the color, and the black comes in handy because when you have a real dark piece, the black foam just kind of blends in. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to go work on another video with the birthday greetings organizer kit that just came out. I cannot wait to put it together. I've been wanting to play with it so bad, but I wanted to catch it on film while I did it. So I've been just having it set aside, and I think I'm going to work on that next. So maybe look for that video coming up. All right, guys. Hope you have a great weekend. And I will see you next week. Bye.